Never let any situation or circumstance make you feel like you're a victim. A wise man once said, we cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing that we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. There are two types of people in the world. The first are those who were dealt a very bad hand in life and decided to quit. Don't let this be you. It is usually pretty easy to spot these people because instead of them finding a solution, they blame their situation on their circumstances. The second type of person is the one that refuses to give up. They refuse to be broken. They choose to take that same disadvantage that was meant to destroy them and use it as fuel. They approach unfavorable situations with a positive attitude. They have a different attitude than the first group that I mentioned, and because of that, they will always find a way to win. I remember reading the story of a Holocaust survivor. He was one of many that was taken to a concentration camp. For 3 days, he was deprived of food, water, and the use of a restroom. His name was replaced with a number as he prepared to meet his fate. Luckily for him, the Germans didn't kill him as soon as he arrived, but instead they assigned him physical work. Shortly after, the American troops closed in on the concentration camp, which resulted in his liberation. Most of his family didn't survive. After his liberation, it would have been easy for him to play the victim role. It would have been easy for him to give in to drug abuse or depression, but he didn't. He made it up in his mind to move forward. When asked how did he mentally survive such a traumatic experience, he replied, "What got me through is I never gave up. I never lost hope. I always say I may have a bad day today, but tomorrow will be a better day." We have to have that same attitude in life. Life isn't going to be all smiles, but if we make it up in our minds that we are not going to quit, things will get better. Perhaps the worst injustice that you can do to yourself is allowing someone or something to negatively impact your attitude. At an early age, Ray Charles' mom let him know that he was going blind. Leading up to that, she took him to a doctor several times and bought sap to place on his eyes. But no matter what she did, nothing seemed to work. When young Ray heard the news, he burst out into tears. Imagine being a curious, visual, young kid that liked to explore everything and being told that you will never see again. Imagine how traumatic that had to feel. Imagine what kind of letdown that had to have in his life. As the tears poured, his mom told him to stop crying. She told him that nobody was going to have pity on him just because he was going blind. She told him that he was going blind, but he isn't stupid, and to never let anyone make you feel like you're a victim. Though it was hard for him to embrace those words, it helped him to grow into a strong man that didn't give up on his musical dreams because of his disability. Those same words that his mom spoke holds true for our everyday lives. No one's gonna have pity on you because you are handicapped, because you were abused in your last relationship, because you were poor. No one is gonna have pity on you because you were molested as a child, lost a parent at a young age. No one is gonna have pity on you because you're in a wheelchair, have a life-altering disease, or whatever it is you're going through. The world is not gonna show you no pity, and to be honest, very few even care. Make it up in your mind today that you will not be a victim. The pain that you feel is all the more reason to press on to success. Prove all those people wrong who said that you wouldn't make it. Make a liar out of them. I know exactly how it feels to go through situations that feels unbearable. I survived each and every last one of them, and that's why I stand here today urging you to not give up. I had a battle with depression that lasted for over 15 years. Depression is the worst emotion that a person can have. It's different from sadness. When you are sad, you normally just don't feel happy for a short period of time. You cheer up and eventually everything is okay. When you have depression, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no joy, consolation, or anything else to make that pain subside. You smile on the outside, but you are really crying on the inside every second, every minute, and every hour of the day. There were times when I was ready to give up. There were times that I cried so much that it felt like I was out of tears. I just felt numb inside. There were times when I prayed so many prayers that I thought that God couldn't even hear me anymore. Either that or he didn't care, because nothing seemed to be working and nothing seemed to change. My days were pure turmoil. Even though I was ready to quit, I didn't. I stood up and I fought. I continued to pray, at least hoping that things would eventually change. And eventually they did. It seemed as one day and over 15 years later, all of those prayers were answered at once. God gave me blessing upon blessing. He opened up heaven and poured them blessings down and wiped my pain away. He eradicated that depression and gave me the chance to truly smile. And for that, I will forever thank him. Your situation is not the end, unless you choose to have a poor attitude or you choose to give up. Stand on your faith. Whatever you do, stand on your faith and do not give up. Set goals and find a way to make it happen. Don't allow your success to be contingent on things and people. Live the life that God called you to live. Do not be a victim. God bless you.